You're in the classroom, the teacher's leading the lesson, and you're sitting next to a small group of children, and suddenly you feel like you should be doing something helpful, but you're not sure exactly what. Do you explain the task again? Do you let them struggle a bit first? Do you just sit there smiling and hope nobody notices? Let's make this simple. You don't need a teaching degree to support learning, and you're not expected to teach, not as a new TA. But you can make a massive difference by knowing how to sit with children, when to prompt their thinking, and how to give support that actually helps them move forward. Here's how to do that. Let's look at where you sit. Where you sit matters. Don't underestimate your body position. Sitting next to a child at their level makes you more approachable and less intimidating. So, a top tip, try the shoulder to shoulder position rather than face to face. It feels less confrontational and more like you're solving something with them, not watching them. Now, I know in a primary classroom, children sit, all round a table. So it's not always possible. But if you can, if you're focusing on a particular child, try and sit shoulder to shoulder, because it does feel less intimidating, and it will feel more like you're working with them rather than sort of, telling them what to do. Prompt thinking. So when a child looks stuck, our instinct is to help, but help doesn't always mean giving them the answer. So instead, prompt their thinking rather than jumping in with the answers. So you could try prompts like, what do you know already? Can you show me how you started? What's the tricky bit here? These help them do the thinking, which is the bit that leads to learning. So the golden rule, if they can do it with a nudge, don't do it for them. The power of pause. So sometimes the most helpful thing you can do is wait and use the power of pause. Children often need a few moments to process what's been said or what's on the page, so don't rush in too quickly. Give them space. Wait for thinking time. Watch their body language. It will often tell you when they're ready for a prompt. And you can help a child to understand the task that they've got to do. Always best to choose, to start with a small thing that they've got to do and then leave them with it. You can go off and help other children in the classroom, and in a couple of minutes later, come back and check in with that child, see how far they've got. Because I don't know about you, but when I was a child at school, I worked a lot better if I didn't have an adult sitting with me watching. If they left me on my own, I could get on with it. So that's a good thing to do, and it helps create independence. Notice what they can do. So you're not there to catch them out. You're there to spot the learning. That means noticing what they can do as well as what they can't. So pointing out when they've used a great word, celebrating a small improvement, saying, I noticed you kept going even when it was tricky. That's brilliant. Children learn better when they feel seen and supported, not corrected every 2 minutes. Can you imagine what that's like? We've all had one of those teachers, haven't we? No, 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 done it wrong. It's awful, it's soul destroying, and you feel like giving up rather than keep going. That's exactly what you don't want to do. Ask questions that spark curiosity. So you don't have to know all the answers, but you can ask great questions that help children stay interested because you've sparked their curiosity. So try asking questions like, what do you think might happen next? How could we check if that's right? Can you explain it to me as if I've never seen it before? These kinds of questions get them talking and thinking deeper. And those types of questions are also really useful when you're not sure of your own knowledge. You can't know everything, particularly when you're new. So asking these sort of open-ended questions really help when you're not sure yourself. So here's some quick don'ts. Don't feel you have to know everything, as I've just said. Curiosity beats perfection. So asking those sort of open-ended questions still helps children move on, even when your knowledge is lacking. Don't interrupt the teacher unless it's important, so save non-urgent questions. Don't feel you need to take over a child's work. In fact, don't do that, no matter what you feel. Support, don't steer. Don't correct every mistake. Choose one or two so that the child is not overwhelmed and keeps their confidence and self esteem intact. Because even a child who's really, really struggling with something, the goal is to keep their self esteem intact. So they want to keep learning. Don't destroy their confidence so they want to give up. And always end on a positive, look what you've achieved note. So here's some take action for you. Practice a few prompts like, what do you know already? Or where could you look for help? Keep them in your TA notebook. Notice your position when you sit with children. Are you shoulder to shoulder or hovering over them? This week, pick one child and focus on noticing something they can do and tell them. And in video 9, we will look at how to stay useful when you're not sure what to do, because you're not expected to know what to do all of the time. See you in video 9.